getting ready to start the lap at Road Atlanta. Coming down through turn 12, a really fast sweeping corner, and at this bridge is where the start-finish line is there. Turn 1 is a right-hander, real fast, about 100 miles an hour. You're going to make one downshift from 5th to 4th into this corner and start up the hill in turn 2, which directly leads into a transitioning turn 3. We're going to go down 1 gear there to 3rd gear. As you heard Kevin just short shift up to 4th gear for turn 4 and on down the hill into the S's. And we're going to get ready for our next braking point, turn 5. It's a left-hander up the hill. You can use this exit curb. Just be careful though because it is pretty rough. We're approaching turn 6. In 5th gear, going back down to 4th gear. It is slightly uphill and a little bit banked, so you can carry a little more speed than you might think. Turn 7 is the slowest corner on the track. It takes the most amount of patience and has the least amount of grip. As you come out of there and as you go into there, I want you to just be thinking patience. It's going to be difficult to turn in, and it's going to be difficult to put power down through there. We're going down the back straightaway here, just making the big bend and going into the fastest part of the track and the heaviest braking zone, you can tell by all the rubber, into turn 10A and 10B. And we're going to come underneath the bridge through 11, and then the downhill here is turn 12, and we're going to bring it across start finish again. Okay, we're starting our lap at Road Atlanta, and we have to set up to come through turn 12 fast in order to come across the start-finish line fast, because the last corner is a sweeping downhill, high-speed corner. What's in front of us right now is the bridge coming out of turn 10B. What you can see just ahead of us here is the yellow, red, and white squares. As you come out on the left side of turn 10B here, and you finish tracking out, I want you to do a gradual kind of diagonal or kind of beeline for that yellow square. And I want you to kind of center punch going underneath that yellow square. But as you get there, whatever wheel that you have in the car, I want you to straighten it up. Do not go over. There's a bump underneath the bridge, and there's also an elevation change that is makes these cars very susceptible to a little bit of wheel spin. I don't want anybody getting freaked out. It's a normal thing. Once you do it 10 or 12 times, it'll be second nature to you here. You'll also probably be making a short shift around this point. You're going to be heading down such a steep hill that being slightly short in the revs is not going to be a big deal. We want you comfortable as you come over the crest of this hill and setting up the right way. I'm going to get the tape rolling here. So we see that yellow square. We're going to center punch that, come underneath the bridge, straighten the wheel out, and you're coming down this huge steep roller coaster here. I want you to be right along the curb, and the white line on the left side here, I want it to just start bending away before you turn in and get into the inside of this apex here. The apex is just around in the middle of the corner, nothing crazy, but do not use those apex curbs. You can use a little bit of this exit curb, but don't leave yourself such a small amount of room here. First thing we're going to notice when we start the lap is the braking marker, the 100 marker on our left side. If we can get down to that, that's going to be pretty deep this weekend. I imagine we'll be just a little bit before that. About 50 to 60% brake pressure and down from 5th to 4th gear here. As we come up the hill, we want to get, as we get into the apex here, we want to get as close to the curb as we can, but again, do not use that apex curb in turn 1. Use as much of the road as we can coming out of tracking out and going up this steep hill. Pull it to the right, and then before we crest the hill coming into turn 2, which is just this little sweeper, I want you to get it over to the left side and line yourself up parallel with this curb. Turn 3 is this right-hander that we're about to start, and notice Kevin's going to use a lot of the curb here, a ton of the curb, probably almost 2 feet into this curb. It's a very nice curb to hit. It's very smooth, no big deal. You're going to feel it bump around a little bit, but it's going to line you up just right for turn 4. Now, turn 4, Kevin's going through right now. He's going to make a short shift up to 4th gear and keep it tight against that curbing, as it's going to set him up for the S's, which is this downhill section right here. It's a right, left, right section before we get to turn 5. So he's blind apex to the right here, and it's very important that you actually emphasize the left here. You want to get over to the left and then a sharp right here. And this is all flat out now before we line up for turn 5, because you have to be straight coming into turn 5 as you make the big turn up the hill. You don't want to be loaded or coming in diagonal you don't want the weight on the left side. You want it sorted out and pretty even across as you come through the corner here. Now, there's curbing on the outside here that Kevin's using. Absolutely go for it. If it's wet, stay off it. If it's dry, get used to the bumps. It's definitely a little unnerving the first few times you go over it, but it's definitely a way that you can carry a lot more speed through the corner. We're approaching turn 6 right now. There's a 300, 200, 100 marker. Maybe the 250 is about where we're going to get with these cars. Between the 3 and the 200 here, we're going to go down 1 gear. Decent amount of brake. Initial pressure, but then you're going to be able to roll off the brake fairly early since we're going uphill and have a little bit of banking. Now we're coming to the slowest corner, turn 7. We're going to go 1 more downshift and a slow, tight, patient corner here. Do not use the curbing in the apex. You can use the track out curbing. Now I want uninterrupted throttle here, and when I say uninterrupted throttle, I want you to be smooth. It's going to be just about the apex that we're going to pick up a little bit of throttle, gradually increasing it to full throttle. Do not be playing on and off with the throttle here. Get yourself into the rhythm of get yourself into the rhythm and the motions of going uninterrupted throttle, meaning once you start adding throttle, you do not stop. If you cannot and you have to get back out, you're jumping into the throttle too soon. As we're coming down the back straightaway here, we're reaching our fastest speeds on the racetrack. We're going to go to 6th gear and continue up a slight hill here, and we're going to start into a gradual, fast, 150 mile an hour sweeping corner here, and we're actually going to start going downhill, very steep, into turns 10A and 10B, which is a 90-degree left followed by a 90-degree right. The braking marker that we're going to be looking for here on our right-hand side is about the 300. That's where we're going to want to start. If we can possibly get down to the 200, we're doing a real good job this weekend. All the way on the right side, see how he's lined up right on the white line there? He's going to come through here. You can use the apex curbing here. I do not want you to go past the midpoint of this track right here. Kevin's setting up here to get a good run at a turn 10B. You can use that inside curbing. It's going to shake the heck out of the car, but don't worry about it. You can use a little bit of this exit curbing, but I wouldn't plan on. Again, there's our yellow square we're going to come under, straighten the wheel up, probably make a short shift here depending on what gears you have here, and back out to our left side to finish off our fast lap here. All the way until the end of the curbing, then we're going to start our turn in. Midpoint, it's a real smooth corner here. Not a lot of bumps coming down here, but it's really fast. No mistakes here, guys. Build up. That's the last corner that you're going to want to be building up a whole ton of speed into.